much. I already have cried. Okay. Candace had a 16K sale last weekend.
What? Yes.
Oh my goodness. That is amazing. Congratulations.
I feel like we should have had party hats or something, because this is I love the news, Candace.
That is amazing. We need those annoying yeah. Good morning, Susan. What is something that you're celebrating? I'm sure you are tired. I'm sure you are tired, Candace.
No doubt. I mean, those estate sales don't estate themselves.
No. Oh my goodness. And I'm just imagining all of the talking that needed to be done, of answering people's questions and
A lot of peopling that needs to be done to have a 16. Oh, that's a lot.
Yes.
But Candace, you're a good people person, so
I think that also goes to show how quickly something can happen. It feels like we're working forever with little to no movement a lot of the times, and it just feels so monotonous and so whatever. And then it feels like, I mean, not to Candace, but it feels like to other people all of a sudden it's bam. And that's why so many times people don't understand how much hard work and effort have been put in behind the scenes when people say oh, she's so lucky, he's so lucky, or oh yeah,
right?
That's what people's responses are. But it's just because that's how quickly life can change, right? It's just you're going, working, and then all of a sudden something happens. It's just so fascinating. Trying to get taxes done. Oh, Susan, same. I'm so ahead of it. This is what I did last year too, and I swore I would not do it again this year. I basically have all of my stuff done the first week of January, second week of January. That's just how I am, because I do my numbers monthly. And so then the reality is all I do is go back through my bank statements and just double check that there's nothing I missed. And we even had meetings with different accountants. I don't remember if it was January or February. I feel like it was January, because we needed a new one this year because our old one kind of sort of retired, I guess. And so ahead of it. And then I literally text Kevin yesterday, did you call and make an appointment with the tax guy? Because I effing forgot. So, here we are, end of March. I don't even know if they'll take us as a new client at this point. It is too late in the game for a lot of CPAs, at least locally, to get into as a new client. So anyway, good job, Susan. Thank you for the reminder, because I would have not even thought about calling today, to be honest.
We're celebrating wins. Who else is on? Say hello when it's on.
For 14 days straight. But you're so lucky, Candace. Oh,
because that's the truth, isn't it? Because people focus on just the win, the people on the outside looking in, just the win, but they don't see all the work and all the things that goes into making that win happen. It's a lot of times when we look at when we people are selling courses or programs, and they're like, I made XYZ, and you're so focused on that number, and you don't realize that they have a team of 20 people behind the scenes. They have all these things in place to lead up to that. So there was a loss at some point, you know what I mean, to make that happen, and the time. And then we set that expectation up for ourselves. Oh, I'm going to make this 6 figures under entirely different circumstances. Oh, I must have failed if I didn't achieve the same result. That's no.
Yeah. because it's just not public knowledge. And even for people who do know what like you've been doing behind the scenes on some small level, they still don't actually know because they're not living it. You can add as many celebrations as you want, Susan. As many. I made over $15,000 this year. Caveat: I probably spent. Hey, we're gonna reframe that. We're just gonna say
I invested.
I made over 15,000 this year. We're not even to the end of March. And this, like, every graph is just this right now.
It is.
Every graph on Google is just this right now. So that is a huge celebration in itself, because I haven't seen a single graph that's doing this.
So I have a few Pinterest accounts that are steady, and I have one Pinterest account that has gone to hit the 200% upwards mark in the last couple of weeks, and so I'm stoked about that. But at the same time, I hear in, like, I'm in Pinterest communities of different Pinterest managers and strategists, and they are like in panic, because I don't know if you noticed, but for a good 2 months, a lot of pins didn't have the link to click over to the website. Like, they removed those links. And so we have a bunch of pretty photos with nowhere to take them to. So a lot of traffic was lost. And I'm just excited that we have a plus. But hey, Brie, am I going to see you in a couple of weeks?
Susan, that's my fault. That's me being a dodo brain. Also, that is still congratulations, because that still is such a huge deal. Like, you are officially, not that it really matters, but also like not vanity metrics. I mean, I don't even know what I would call this, but like the 5-figure club, that, at least to me, that was a big deal. Like when I hit 4-figure club, and then when I hit 5-figure club, like those really mattered to me, of feeling like, yes. And regardless of the expenses.
Yeah.
My favorite saying, not like of the whole world, but is you gotta spend money to make money. Mainly because I like to say that to Kevin when I want to buy something.
Bree says, I'm hoping to go. I'm planning on going, but deciding on how many days. I'm going to be there Monday through Thursday. Monday night, Thursday afternoon.
Bree, what's a win? Share a win with us.
Yeah,
Chris decorated her office for party. Okay, I'll share my win. I have just very recently became, this is what we were talking about a couple weeks ago, an Alibaba ambassador. So
I wish I could like sound effects to like wah,
wah. They had reached out. Apparently it's like something that they have that's like an invite only, blah blah blah. Somebody had been like watching me. I wanted to share. Well, one, I didn't want to share. Chris was like, you have to celebrate that. And so this is all Chris. But two, now logically when I think about it, I do want to share, because it goes to show, like, things happen when you don't even know. Like, I have been showing up, posting on social, and I had no idea that somebody from this huge organization was like watching me, and then like talking about me in rooms with other people and getting approval to try and recruit me. Like anyway, and not like it was just very interesting, because I kind of went into it thinking, oh, anybody who uses the word Alibaba, they must offer this too. Like, it must just be like, whatever. And it's like, no, it was very specific. They were asking me about videos that I had made like 9 months prior, and asking me like why my feelings were that way. And anyway, so thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. But it just really goes to show that the sayings of like, fall in love with the process, not the journey, or like, that's what's most important. I really do believe that is most important. I have learned that lesson time and time again. If you are only focused on the end results, and you hate the process, or you hate the journey in order to get to those end results, then a few options happen. One, you don't get to the end, right? And then you're just living in a constant state of misery. 2, you get to the end and you get that result, but you still feel so like unfulfilled, and you feel like you're not happy, because the happiness of the end result is not matter as much as being happy for the like longevity, basically, of the process, because things can take years to actually come to fruition. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I think it's important to kind of see, like, even if you are showing up and only getting 150, 200 views on your videos, but you're showing up consistently, and the information you have to share, like, that is important. And people notice it and people see it.
Bree says, I went live on YouTube for the first time last night, straight from YouTube. That was a win for me because I'm not a huge fan of expanding to other platforms.
That is super exciting.
Yeah, and she's gonna do so well on YouTube. You're just really your personality, and like you, whenever I see you live, it's so cute, especially when you have a little one with you, one or two, depending, I guess, the night. But it is like, I don't know if you realize this, because I don't think we purposely are like, oh, this is branding, or this is like a message I'm sending. Like, you're kind of just being mom at the same time as being a business owner. And what it does is it gives people who find you, who might be, may have little ones at home, that are just like, oh my gosh, I can have a business and still be mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lot of times, like, in a world of mommies, especially mom groups, there's this judgment, like all kinds, like everything from how a child should be in a car seat to what's, breastfeeding, not breastfeeding, working or not work, or stay-at-home mom. Like, I don't know who built these, like, what are they called? But like
boxes.
Yeah, but you're showing women across the world that, you can do both. And it is absolutely possible without just being like, oh, kids are not allowed in the room, or, like, you can have both. You can live both.
Yeah. I love it. Chelsea, we're celebrating wins. What's a win? Chris, what you can go while we're waiting for.
So yesterday, after I got off the phone with you, or after I got off the Zoom call with you, Haley had actually come into the office. She goes, I need to finalize my dorm room. I'm like, okay. She goes, as soon as you get off the call, can you help me finish the application? So, like, all things, what were we talking about? Like, you put off the thing you're supposed to do.
Oh my gosh.
So I got off the Zoom call, and then I was like, oh, I need to, what did I do? I said, I'm going to go make a coffee real quick. I'm going to do this real quick. And she goes, at like task number 3, she's like, are you ready to help me do this application?
Are you done avoiding?
Yeah. So we sat there, we went through like 4 different dorms, where they're situated on campus, what the layouts look like. The only dorms that were left at this point did not have the ensuite bathroom, which is one that we were crossing our fingers would still be available. So she has the like community bathroom, which I'm sure it'll take a little bit to get used to. Basic dorms left. The one closest to probably her main building was open. But just picking out the room, like, you literally had to pick like which unit you wanted, which bed in that unit you wanted. And we're looking at this, like, this map, like, it's one of those buildings that has like 3 wings.
Mm-hmm.
And like the central area. And the floor has a men's wing and 2 women's wings, which I thought was kind of odd. Like, I was like, you'd think like a floor would be all women, a floor would be all men, but girls and boys. I said, because they're college, they're still kids. And so we did. Tell me, with like, these are one of those moments where we obviously do the million worst case scenarios in her head just to pick out this dorm room. I'm like, oh, look, there's a lounge area on this wing. This wing, like, these have like, this is closest to the emergency exit. I'm like, if something happens, and then you can just easily go outside and go to the emergency exit. And then, like, of course, the scenarios of what emergencies might happen are in my head. Needless to say, the celebration is we picked out her dorm room, we paid the deposit, and Robert and I both have feelings about it. We're just like, it suddenly became,
it's really happening,
extremely real.
Oh my gosh.
Robert said, do we need a trailer for the truck to put all our stuff in? I'm like, honey, this dorm room will not fit anything more than what you can fit in the bed of your truck. Like, we don't need a trailer. He looks so disappointed.
Oh, yeah, he wanted a trailer.
Yeah.
Just get them. Aren't they like $10 from U-Haul, those super, super tiny ones?
Yeah, the ones you drive behind, you tow it.
Yeah, like you just add it onto the back of his truck. It's like here you go.
Yeah. It's just flopping around because it's all empty.
You guys can put your purses in it. You're like, stop for a while, you open it, just get your, because there's some of the ones are so tiny. Like, anyway, side note, Chelsea, I don't see your win. Not okay. Share your win. Oh my god,
Brie actually shared a win either.
Yes, huh? She went live on YouTube.
Oh yes. Rude.
Also, are we counting that as your win? Because like, kind of that was Haley's.
That was Haley's. I'm borrowing that win.
Like, yes, it's a win. It's like a family. We have like just a Chris only win.
I moved over. Like, I have been more intentional where I've been putting things. And so it's so funny that we were talking about this the other night, and we were doing the same exact thing, but didn't communicate with each other that we were each doing it. But I've been moving some of my paid training over to YouTube, specifically for helping virtual assistants and service providers build their business. And so that YouTube will be specifically for that audience. Because I have always battled, like, my audience has been kind of mixed throughout. Many of you have done the same thing. You attracted makers when you wanted to attract buyers. I wanted to clean up the audience a little bit. So YouTube I have specifically for, helping service providers, not product-based businesses. So little by little, getting that up.
That is so exciting. We're not saying little by little.
Yes.
You started a new YouTube channel for service-based VAs.
Yes. Yes. Good point.
Full exclamation point, full stop, the end. Tarina and Chelsea, you need to share a win, or you have to leave.
Not lying though. Not joking.
Yeah, I just laughed, so it was like a little bit less awkward for you guys, but it was serious. So true, balancing is doable, but it takes time to learn the best way to mom and business at the same time. It's messy but doable. Yes, absolutely. There's like this new saying. It's not new, but that it's been in my head a lot recently because one of my girlfriends has been saying it consistently, and so it's like kind of just been stuck for me, which is your messy, like our messy is somebody else's perfect. And it's just been such an interesting concept to see play out in the real world, right? Because my RAS system is now showing me proof of like, oh, look, yes, somebody launched this, or somebody's selling this, or here's a custom tumbler, or here's a mom, not even a mom, here's a woman shopping in the grocery store, or it just, now my system is showing me proof of like all of these people who are out in the world doing stuff, presenting stuff, living their life, etc. And it's so much more messy than what I think my messy is that I can't share with the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I'm over here being like, oh, I can't do that yet because of XYZ. But yet this person is over here, like doesn't even know how to use Zoom, isn't even using Zoom for their community. They have some almost like a Google number where they just, for their community meeting, it's a call, a phone call that they like just add everybody's numbers in manually to this group call. And that's what they're doing. And people are loving it. And people are getting like so much help and whatever out of it. Right. But it's like, then anyway, it's just very interesting for it to start looking and then seeing proof of that everywhere with how people parent, and not from a judgmental place, right? Not from a judgmental place of like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. But it's coming from a place of like, oh, I'm so proud of myself that if my kid, I'm now at a place in parenting, I've not been at this place always, but where if a kid is very upset and crying because we have to leave the park, that I don't just get filled with rage and I'm like, knock it out. Like they're doing something to me. Like they're disrespecting me or they're defying me. Like now I come from a place of like, I know it's really hard. It sucks that we, got to go home. We got to work on homework. The park is so much fun. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's just cool to see like that transformation. So anyway, wanted to share that is our messy is other people's perfect. Sending them off is hard. Glad you got it done with her. I know. I can't even imagine. I now own a 30-acre property. Hell yeah. We are finally going away and camping tonight through the weekend with Chad's family. There are level 2 storms happening, so I hope we make it out of it with the truck and trailer before any golf-sized hail or crazy winds take place. Can you leave early? Can you just do like a fun little, we're picking him up early from school and we're just going for it? Because that storm sounds horrible. Yeah. Oh, Trina,
you gotta win. You have a win hiding in there.
Everybody has a win no matter what.
Damon's all like, I'm glad yourself is finally telling you what I told you like 30 years ago. You know what it is. And there's so many things that we probably have said at that point where like you're like, I told her that. Yeah, I told her that a while ago. Between Marissa and I. Like, I don't know if we have to remanifest your suggestions into a different voice and we're just all like, oh, that's a great idea.
Well, I'm a diagnosed experimental learner. So all of the frustration that you feel, just imagine how my mother feels. Okay. Because it's like a real thing where it doesn't matter if I was told the stove was hot, I would still touch it. Like it didn't matter if it was like, if you do that, you'll be in so much pain that you'll be crying. Like I'm an experimental learner, unfortunately for my mother and probably for a lot of other people in my life.
You know what? There are a number of things I did as a child that make me question my sanity. I remember being in the Big Island, and my grandpa, I would go every spring and summer, I think. And because I was my grandpa, he was canvassing. Like he had a certain politician that he would canvass for. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, anyway. So I would sit in the car and wait, and he would I would press the what is it? The lighter plug? The lighter into the thing, and I let it pop. Plug it in or push it in, let it pop. Pulled it out one day. I was like, oh, that's really red. That's so cool. I'm sure it's hot. Let me try it. And I ended up burning a circle right into my finger. And I hid it the whole time because I knew if I told my grandpa I hurt my finger because I put my finger on the car lighter, I would have been in so much trouble.
Oh, yeah. That just sounds I think there's so many more people like that than we think. And like, it's just not really talked about. So here's an example of that. I was watching a video the day before yesterday, whatever day it was, Monday. And it was how they collect samples of lava. Mm-hmm. I literally was watching this video and I am like, oh, I want to touch that so bad.
Oh my God.
In my head, I'm like, same thing. Oh, it's so pretty. And then I'm like, would it actually really hurt that bad? Or would it just immediately like burn off your your feelings.
Your hand would be like,
and then I'm like, would it just be bone? But I'm like, then I thought to myself, if I was standing there taking these samples, would I be able to not touch it? Like, like what would my inside thoughts just whatever? So anyway, when you use that cigarette lighter as an example, I don't know why you're acting like that. You touch cigarette lighter, same thing.
I know, but there's 2 different levels, honey. There's like,
I know. I'm sure I wouldn't, because I know that they're like all suited up, blah blah blah. But I literally scrolled off the video because I was like, I'm creeping myself out.
You know, like, I'm guessing Marissa and I were moths in a former life. Pretty light.
Like, I literally still have it's not lit because I haven't lit it this morning. I still have my Christmas tree up. I took off the Christmas decorations. I don't call it a Christmas tree. I call it my twinkle tree because it's like twinkly. It's the viral like Home Depot tree that's just pure bliss and magic. I literally don't give a single. It's up, and every morning when I'm done with calls or whatever out here, I go inside and I like push that push button and it pops on, and I just am like, oh, Chelsea, I totally forgot with spring break. I knew that. We literally talked about it last night. It doesn't get off until 3, and they're saying it's going to hit at 4. Oh, so
like, why are we like that?
Like waiting with the keys. Like you're like, we're ready. We are packed.
No nap. No shower. Just roll around. Tuck and roll, Chad. Tuck and roll.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't forget to wave, Chad, though. Don't forget to wave.
I'm lucky that my mom is so advanced is the only word. Like, she is constantly looking to grow and change and figure out where she's falling short. And she's just like so good at that. Not falling short, but always looking for a way to communicate better and understand people better.
I'm impressed too.
She's like a nurse through and through, right? Like she's very unusual in that way, especially I think for her generation. But that's who she is. So anyway, I'm very grateful that I had a parent like that, because she learned early on, I think before I was like a teenager. I feel like when I was like 11 or something, she would like go to these conferences, these parenting things, whatever. Anyway, that she realized that me and my brothers were experimental learners. Yeah. Sometimes I feel so bad for her, real talk, because my 2 brothers, it just like, she's on a regular basis. Like, I don't know how any of y'all came for me. Like, she is clean. She is tidy. She is soft-spoken. She is non-neurodivergent, right? She's like, school's really important. Like, all of these things, which I did do the school thing, but she's like quietly entertained herself as a child versus my brothers and I. Like, my brother would be chasing me with steak knives. I would be chucking my Doc Martin off the 2nd story over the overhang onto his head, splitting his head open. In my defense, I did not know I had that good of aim. Like, just fought loud, talked loud, loved loud. Our house was loud.
That kind of reminds me of like I was watching a live the other day, and Damon was talking about going to the new property and how like Megan had said something about like how peaceful and quiet it was, but then it's Megan talking. So that would be like our equivalent. You're the business coaching equivalent to that.
Yes, very true. And anyway, yep. And so she learned early on that like I am the oldest, like experimental learner. And I have like specific memories. I can't even tell you what was happening, but I have the voices in my head. Not crazy, maybe. Where I'm doing something and I can hear another adult, I don't even know who it is, being like, are you gonna stop her? Are you gonna say something? And my mom being like, no, she won't listen anyway. She likes to learn things herself. Like, I have a memory of, I feel like I'm balancing on something and walking on something tall is what I feel like I'm doing. And it's a parent being like, you're gonna let her do that? And my mom being like, yeah, she won't listen anyway. Like, she's thought, she's not just doing something, like she's thought and made this decision of, yes, this is what I'm gonna do, regardless of the risk,
the danger. Yeah. And even if I fall, I just want to experience that fall. Like, how bad could it be?
Yeah. And it's just, just like to do stuff by myself. Like it was maybe the second time I had broken my nose, and my mom didn't even come over. Yeah, I broken my nose I think 4 or 5 times. With soccer. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially because I was shorter, and so but I was very aggressive, and so they would stick me usually on the tallest, biggest player. And so we have some soccer pictures of me where the other player is easily 12 to 12 inches plus higher than me. And so when they would go to kick the ball, a lot of times it would like be my face, because I already would have gotten the ball, for the record. So the only thing left there was my face.
I feel like in general, as an adult, everybody's pretty much 12 inches taller than me. Like,
yeah,
you've seen me in person.
Yeah. It's true.
David said just quit experimenting with fruit and bread.
No, you are missing out. You are missing out. Cranberry.
I can't argue with that, though.
Orange bread is so good.
Like,
I don't want to hear it. You were eating something with apple chunks in it not too long ago. And I was like, oh, so you will eat it. And you were like, this is different. I think you said like the chunks are so small or something.
I don't remember what it was. So I don't remember. It didn't happen.
I'm pretty sure Haley was there. I'm asking Haley. I'm texting Haley. Not right now. She's in school.
She's going to text you back. So if you text
I know. That's why I have to not. I like forget, right? Because I'm like, oh, whatever, like message her on Instagram. And then when she responds, I'm like, oh, bad Auntie.
But anyway, let's continue.
But also, did she tell you that I sent her hairstyle?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase that. She did. Okay, so I saw this and I was like, shut up. This would be so freaking amazing on her. Sent it to her. She responds back. She's like, I did this last week.
The raccoon tails?
The stripes?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? Raccoon tails?
Yeah, raccoon tails.
Oh, well, yeah. Anyway, it was stripes. Yeah, the stripes. I didn't know it had a name. And she was like, I don't remember what she said, but my equivalent of like, shut up. Like, I just did this. I did this last week. And I was like, first of all, I was like, why have I not gotten a picture? And she was like, I haven't been able to get a good one. Like, all the pictures turn out bad. But secondly, I'm like, that's freaking weird that I saw this. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
a very specific look.
Yeah. And I sent it to her and I'm like, you have to, I didn't say you have to do this, but she was like, I did that last week. Or it was like a few days before. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, well, I'm glad I know, like, and she wasn't like, ew, I would never do this. But so funny. Anyway, side tangent. That was a celebration for me of like, oh, I've been so stuck in my own world for like, let's be honest, probably pushing the last year. I've been very stuck internally and doing like a lot of internal stuff that I have really feel like I've not been there for my external relationships how I want to and how I like to. And so for me, that was a win of like, even though I have been sucking by my standards, I still like know her, or at least she hasn't changed so much drastically in the last year of me being really bad at that like,
oh yeah,
it's a little
You're like a permanent one in her world. Candace said, I remember to this day when my mom told me not to mess with her shaver. Sure did. I picked it up and sliced all my fingers. I did the same thing. Did you do this? Like you picked it up. You're like, no way. All sliced.
Blood. Okay, but it didn't hurt for me.
Oh, it hurt for me. Like it hurt after
yes,
was complete, yes, but not the during.
Yeah, I feel like it hurt for me almost like a day later or something. Like I feel like I was like, I don't understand what the big deal is, like, yeah, I bled or whatever. And then I think it was either hours or time later that then it was like sore, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
See, even after I cut myself, saw blood, I'm still like, I don't know why my mom says that we can't do that. It's not even a big deal.
I tried it on the lava. I thought that at Yellowstone. Yellowstone was
so glad I'm not alone, Susan.
Oh, like does Yellowstone have the
geyser? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which when we went, I was terrified of one of my brothers falling in, even though my mom was holding me.
I did this with a razor blade when I was younger. I was like, Mama said it was really sharp not to touch it. Well, I wonder how sharp touch. Wait 5 seconds. Yeah.
Okay, so are we finding a correlation between business owners, entrepreneurs, and being experimental learners? Like, no, I'm not getting a corporate job. I'm gonna do this own thing that everybody says I'm gonna fail at.
I mean, like David's the only one. Like, David, did you do that when you were little? I don't know if you're still here, but did you test the danger? Like, people told you no. I feel like you did. Now that I'm saying
There's
what we
no way that Damon did not do that. Yeah. There's no way that Kathy's like, when Damon's little, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And then Damon's like, I'm not going to do that. I would put money on it. That
I agree. Experimental learning. You're still here because then you can answer this question for us.
Chelsea said no, that she did not do this stuff. Okay.
Are you sure, Chelsea?
I mean, there's always like obviously exceptions to the majority.
I'm not gonna lie. We have cattle prods at the farm. We can just hold on. It all jumps. We can just solve this so much faster. Now I might be thinking like electric cattle prods. This is what's in my head, at least. Like I want to catch
the things that kill them. I don't know what it is.
Like
obviously,
the little zapper things to make them move.
I thought it was the thing that like punches a hole in their head.
Oh God!
I know. I read that comment and I was like, what is he trying to prove? Like, y'all don't listen. He'll just do it in our leg or something.
Now I have PTSD every time I pick up a razor blade when I craft. I did not know. This was not an intentional experiment, by the way. How sharp these mesh cutters are. Like, I bought a mesh cutter to make my garland. And
like a rotary blade?
Yeah. And I went to like tuck it back in without the button. I was like, and I put my finger on the blade, thinking I could tuck it back in. Grown adult making that decision. No experimenting there. I was like, can't be that bad. I'm like, oh, button broken.
That is kind of experimenting. It's like, this is how you put it away, push this button. And you're like, nah. I don't bet it's that bad. It'll just be like pressure. It's not like a pizza cutter or anything.
You know what she doesn't want to do though? Christine, come hang out with us in April.
It's not that I don't want to. Life is lifing. Life is lifing. Life is lifing.
Yes, and try to. I did the same thing. I hit it. But when
I think we so. Susan also says yes. It's a prove it mentality. That makes a lot of sense. I didn't. Have you met my mom? Oh,
this is true.
Is it like a Southern thing where you just get beat?
Not like
in a bad way, but like in a not California way.
I feel like Auntie Kathy would be one of like, I had this with my grandpa. It is a very specific look. And like, you don't even question it.
When she does her head tilt and then her puts like her glasses are down and she does that, I'm like, ooh, you're in trouble. When I see Kathy do that.
I think that equals when Damon says your name 3 times, or he says, look, and then he does one more look, or listen. Like, those are the moments I'm like, oh, okay, I'm listening.
Lock in.
Yeah.
Okay, but Damon just didn't do it as a child, but he does it as an adult. Like when people are like, you can't wear shorts on stage, he's like, what up you? I'm not wearing shoes, bitch. Okay. Like, you need to get a haircut. He's like, I'm gonna purposely. He's like in the hotel room beforehand teasing. He's like, don't tell me that I have to get a haircut.
Yeah, that's true though. Like, I feel like I wish I had done that oppositely. Outside of the rotary cutter, like, like, like I challenge the system a little bit more as an adult. Look, I can still do it now. I can choose to challenge. I'm not dead yet, but I wish I had done that more as an adult.
Today's your day. Today's the day of challenging people.
See, he said it's the shocker. It's not the other thing you're talking about. Like, I'm curious.
Oh, okay. What's the other thing?
The thing that you were talking about.
I totally thought that's what it was called.
So it's the shocker. Like, I think you use it to move them from one space to the
next.
Gotcha.
And we need to figure out something that Chelsea can do. I'm on Team Candace with this, of figuring out something Chelsea can do to, like, when someone says don't do something and then rebel.
What can we tell her not to do?
We'll have to think of something.
Yeah.
But she's not going to do it. So we have to make it, like, really appealing to her. So then she, like, wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll taste the taste of rebellion. You're going to be like, watch, we're going to unleash some, like
the inner
yeah. She's just
that has been like banging to get out.
We see her just, like, running around with scissors on her new 30-acre farm, like, my mom always said don't run with scissors. Don't run with scissors, though. That's a bad example.
I've sliced the crap out of my hand with the rotary and deco scissors. Yeah, I don't doubt it.
But did you do it purposely?
I just used this to slice all the things. Let me push on it. Yeah,
But listen, it's like me being like, oh, I want to touch that lava. Okay, I know what will happen if I touch lava. And I'm still like, could it really be that bad? So the rotary cutter is like,
Okay. This is going to sound ridiculous, as all things do that come out of my mouth. But so the beard trimmers that zzz, and they're like, and you've touched that and that doesn't hurt you.
Correct.
That was the same idea that was in my head when I was going to when I pushed the rotary cutter in.
Like, if you weren't doing this, it wouldn't be sharp.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see the logic of that.
Is that exactly what I was thinking? Like, it's not moving. We're good.
Stephanie says, my wins, I got several. Yes. I have a business pitch contest tonight with an angel investors. That is so exciting. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. I've been told by the ODU collegiate licensing director that they are putting my products in the college bookstore this fall. This is a nationwide vendor. So when I get one, I get openings for other colleges too.
Huge news.
My products are being featured at a college licensing convention for 14 Virginia colleges. This could be huge for more doors open.
This will be huge. Yeah.
A good example. Yes, this will be huge for many more doors to open, of how long she's been showing up, doing the things she needs to do. And then, all of a sudden, we need to think of like a communal phrase for that, where we know like what we're really talking about. Things happen and then people are just like, oh, she's so lucky, that came so easy, like, whatever, but they don't even know how long that it took to be at these doors that are going to be blown wide open, and you're just going to be able to nonchalantly walk through like, yeah, I'm here. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Thank you for sharing. That is, how are you doing over there? Are you like cloud 9? Are you nervous at all, stressed at all for tonight? Are you feeling confident? Combination? It definitely was not the Cali treatment. Chelsea said, I was a good kid. I was rebellious when I was a teenager, but because I was such a good kid, they trusted me. They shouldn't have. I was such a good kid too. I mean, I feel like I was totally a good kid. And I used to get punished like I was a bad kid because of my father projecting his high school days. And I was the oldest. So I was constantly like getting in trouble for things that were not even real. And so then one day I said, if I'm getting in trouble for things that I'm not even doing, I might as well
do it. Yeah. I was the opposite. I was a really, really good kid. Like, I was it's like the rule follower, all the things. And then I turned into a teenager, and then it was horrible. And then I came back to reality maybe in my 20s.
Yeah, I was kind of like, mine was just shorter. Mine was like my 17th birthday, and then I came back, you know. It was my 17th birthday was the first time anything. And then I, you know, was back in the house pregnant by 19. So
He's smart enough to avoid pain. That's probably what we are missing there. That little sprocket that's like avoid pain. Because I think we do that a lot in like physical pain and mental pain and like emotional pain. We're like, oh, let's try it anyway. Broken.
That's true. That's true. Why am I crying so much lately? Oh,
I was gonna say he does this all the time now. Disturbing the peace and conflicting pain on yourself aren't the same.
that's also true. I see what he's saying. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Versus I'm like, I'm going to touch the stove. It's not glowing red, right? Hot metal on TV and movies and whatever glows red. Your stovetop never glows red. So it's not really hot. It is hot.
You can run with scissors, just not deco scissors.
We're going to send you some kitty, like preschool plastic, whatever scissors. And then we're going to make you film yourself running with scissors, Chelsea. She's in barcode. She's in barcode heaven. Yeah. One more one. We started hiring someone to do the clean outs for us. It's taken a lot of stress off. We still take the high valuables, but they do the rest. That is amazing.
Like,
what?
Now, can you guys, you have time to eat now? I think that's the important part. Are you eating?
Are you eating? She was a good kid. Didn't she tell us she clocked her? Listen. Okay. Yes, I did use my hands a lot. I was very, very physical child. I had a
and
lot
you're the oldest, you said, right? That's so funny to me. Like, you're the oldest, but you're like the one that beat everybody up. Is that what you're saying?
I definitely would start and instigate, and a lot of the times it wasn't beating people up. Like, I never have gotten like in a fist fight or anything with my brothers, but more irritation, annoyance, poking the bear. So like pinching nipples, or like, you know, back in the day, credit carding was like a thing, like credit carding my brother, or, you know, so it was more like irritation and annoyance. And then he would snap, rightfully so. I'm not saying like, then he would snap because I pushed him too far. And then he would do like a crazy thing, right? Like chase me with a steak knife or something, or bite me or something like that. Or what he used to do is dig his fingernails into me. Like, if I was messing with him, he would like just grab me really hard, but his fingernails were always so sharp. I don't remember what he did. That was basically like the one probably worst thing that I've ever done to him. And also, I had no idea that I actually was going to hit him. Like, I mean, I was trying for sure, but I was like throwing a shoe off of we had like a half ledge of our second story, and he had done something because he was running away from me. So he had done something. He used to, when he would get mad, also be sneaky. So he would like go into my room and cut up my clothes, or he would do stuff like that. And so it was something like that where I saw something. This is how I went upstairs, and then there was a hallway that was right next to the half ledge. So in and out, one thing, my room, the bathroom, my brother's room. And so probably like went into my room or went into my bathroom. There was something destroyed, and literally I heard like like running, and then he was running down the stairs and then was turning the corner to run underneath where the half ledge is. And yeah, so it wasn't like, that one was not like unprovoked. My provocation, whatever, was definitely like nipple pinching, tickling when he didn't want to be tickled, you know, stuff like that. Holding stuff above his head, he couldn't reach it. That was like my mean sisterness. And then he would get really mad and I'd be like holding. And then he would like, you know, punch me or something. And then I wouldn't hold anymore.
Nervous as crap, but confident about myself. I love that. And what I felt. Yeah.
I do feel like that's kind of like the best combo, because I think my belief, or maybe this is just what I tell myself, is that when you're nervous, it's like because you care. For me. And I'm not saying people who don't get nervous, like maybe they've just done it so many times that they really don't feel nervous. But for me, I thought that the more I would do something, the less nervous I would feel. And yes, as that has gotten better, I've noticed that there are times in my life where I'm not nervous, and it's because I like don't really care as much as the outcome. Like I'm more confident in the outcome. That's like, not that I don't care about it, but I'm just more confident in, like how you said, you're more confident in your ability. So hopefully that nervousness wears off.
10 pounds. I call it the insomnia diet. Oh my goodness.
Candace. That's not a win.
You got to read Damon's comment yourself, because that's hilarious.
I bet this is the brother that came out. No, but he is obsessed with guns. And he's like, that sounded really bad. He's like a hunter. So he like will travel to different states and he hunts. And then
so you triggered him into like,
nah, he used to shoot me with his freaking rubber. When he was little, like maybe 7, he got one of the guns from the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland that like
the rubber band one. Yeah,
that shit hurts.
It does.
But no, he is not. That is the youngest one, and he and I never like had beef with him, even though I would like bug him too. Him and my brother though, whoo-wee, they would go at it. But I think there's such an age difference. There's 7 years between me and Dane, and so Chandler and I, there's 4 years, so it was just like irritation. But Dane and I was more like, oh, he's the baby. And I also will say, for the record, I was so annoying as an older sister. I know that, but I also was the older sister that only I could do shit to my brothers. Yeah. Anyone else do something? We throw in hands. But me, yes, I can trip him when he walks. You make fun of the shirt he's wearing? Oh, hell no. So
it sounds like Haley. I can see why you and Haley get along really well. So Haley and Hayden are 6 years apart. And I remember in kindergarten, Hayden was a very quiet size of, my personal space is the size of like Texas. Like his personal space bubble is huge. And if he let you in his personal space, then, you know, you're like, that was rare. So this one kid really wanted like Hayden to be his friend, and Hayden said no thank you to play a game or something like that. He was playing with a couple other friends, and the kid like punched him across the face on the playground. And so I got a call from the school. They're like, it's a bit red, but you know he seems okay. And just like he didn't do anything at all to make trigger this. Like we want you to know, like whatever. So Haley heard about it and she's just like, hey, show me this kindergarten when we get to school. And I'm like, you ain't beefing with no kindergartner. You're in like intermediate. What are you gonna do? Like walk up to the kindergarten playground and like knock them out? Like that can't be, no. But I just remember like, oh my God, this is it. This is what they talk about.
You just put the fear of God in them, You can like bring objects to demonstrate on, or like, this is a twig, so I'm gonna do to your arm. There's things you can do without actually touching them.
But yeah, I remember that. I was like, because my older siblings are 9 and 13 years older, so there has never been any crossover. We lived in different houses because they are half siblings and older. So I grew up as an only child that had like visitors every once in a while that were called brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Technically my brothers are my half brothers, but we forget on a regular basis that I'm adopted from my dad. Like on a regular basis. Like when I tell my kids like, oh, you got that from Papa. And then we'll be like saying something, whatever. And then someone else will be like, wait, your dad? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I thought that. And I'm like, oh yeah. Well, I still think you got that. We were gone so long, only eating once a day, and then I tried to eat like normal human. Jax, oh, that's like a real thing, Candace. Totally. Do the like Blatt? Is it called Blatt diet? No, what's it called? Brat?
You don't. When it comes to diets, I have no. Like, I am the most unhealthy.
Or bread, rice. Oh my gosh, what is it? You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's like a diet that, it's like an acronym that my mom used all the time as a nurse of like, if you've had stomach flu or something, like these are things, like these are the 4 things to like ease yourself back in. But definitely just do bland foods, Candace. Like I actually would not recommend protein shakes unless they don't mess up your stomach. But like protein shakes, yes, bread, rice, applesauce, toast.
Yeah.
Diet. Because protein, because my mom's a nurse. Well, that's my reasoning. But because protein shakes actually, like the way that the whey is in the protein can be really hard for your stomach to digest. For me, the easiest protein for my stomach to digest is eggs. So hard boiled or scrambled or whatever. It's like
did you just say as a shake?
Or no, not as a shake. Okay. No, just eggs. Eggs, comma, not in your shake.
I'm just picturing you blending up a happy juice and tossing in a raw egg. And I'm like,
Kevin used to drink raw eggs back when he was in his gym rat phase. Disgusting. I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't remember.
But congratulations, Marissa. That like is a huge win for you. If you missed it earlier, share it again.
I am an Alibaba ambassador. They reached out and asked me to meet with them and see if I'd be interested, and signed paperwork a week ago, maybe. So.
And it's just gone, like, I feel like as soon as you did that, like, it just moved forward so quickly, like the things that you've done and the access that you've been granted,
Yes, that will be one of the coolest aspects. And one of the reasons why I was so interested is because I'll just know all these things first. And Alibaba owns a lot, right? So they own AliExpress, they own Exio, which is like an AI solution for sourcing. Anyway, they have like their hand in a lot of different things that I think people don't even realize. And so it's cool that I get the behind the scenes and knowledge of stuff. You know me, I love knowledge. That'd be required me to cook them. Get hard-boiled eggs. Just buy them. Candace was saying she'd have to be someone to cook them. If you're okay with hard-boiled eggs, just Costco, wherever. This sounds so weird, but I'm really weird with taste, and I can like taste certain chemicals. I know it makes me sound like a crazy person, but I can. So like the hard-boiled eggs from Sam's Club, I do not like, but the hard-boiled eggs from Costco are totally fine. Or the hard-boiled eggs from Sprouts, or even like Target. But anyway, if you're into hard-boiled eggs, those are such a nice, easy thing to get protein in. That's also like easy on your stomach. Oh, you're so sweet, Candace. Thank you. Okay, sorry we kept you guys late. Hope everybody has an amazing Wednesday. And anyone who's watching replay, you have to share your wins because Christine decorated her office for us as a celebration.
I feel like y'all are so hyped up. Y'all want to cover CMC for me so y'all can get people pumped for April.
Is that today? What time is it at?
Yeah. I cannot, because I promised David, what's it called? Black Bear Diner.
Is it 1 your time? So it's 12 my time?
I think we're on the same time now. Is it 11 right now for you?
It's 9. Yeah. I'd have to see if I could move this. Maybe next week?
Oh, no, it's at 12. It's at 12. I think, hold on. The time changed, so I'm confused.
And I don't understand how your time like changes one time of the year and then doesn't change the other time of the year.
Yeah. It's like
that's even worse than just having it change twice a year.
It is because everybody else's schedule changes. It doesn't. It changes my schedule.
Yeah.
So I like first week after the time change, I was late for the CMC call. It was so bad. Hold on.
I just feel like that would be so hard.
Although I was thinking of doing, like, we should totally do a live on Deco Exchange to get people over to CMC. Where is it? There we go. It's today at 12. It's at 12.
I can see if I can move this around, but I mean, it's not the same if we can't do it. So we could do next week, maybe. What's next week?
The 2nd.
I don't have anything next week.
Yeah, Damon, can we pick up next week? We'll promise to be as hyped. CMC. We're gonna put it on the calendar. CMC call 12. 12 to 1.
12. Okay. So he's probably gone.
I know.
He probably doesn't. He's probably gonna be like, "No, I don't want you for next week."
I wanted you for today.
Okay, yeah. Everybody have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.